Hello my magical light beings, and welcome all to this video today. My name is Shalita. Welcome to this channel. This channel is all about magical consciousness. We experience the 5D timeline on this channel, and in this video I will be going on a walk, talk, vlog. So if you're ready for that, then this is your video. And I will probably be talking a lot, but most of it all what I wanted to share today was about our minds. That our mind is our tool, not our guide. So we'll be talking on that on my walk. We'll show the beautiful nature. The sun is shining today, so I was so excited to go out and to just have fun, you know. That's what it's all about in the 5D timeline, about being here now, following our highest excitement in this present moment. So I am now grabbing my bag and I will be going on a walk. It is freezing outside, so I have literally a sweater and a cardigan on. A lot. But as well, something random that just came to me. Time is speeding up so fast. Like, it's 1 week already. We're already 1 week in January. That went like this. And before I know it, for you know it, it is freaking 2025. Like, I'm not kidding. This is just so insane, right? Like, I cannot believe it. It's crazy that this is my now. But maybe in 1 week, where will I be? That will then be my now, but it will maybe be somewhere totally different than this place. Whoa. Crazy. And we are out in the forest. My earring. It's such a beautiful weather out here. It's insane, but it's cold, so my hands are getting a little bit freezed, but we can deal with that. But I hope you all are having an amazing day today. Whenever you receive this video, I hope you are doing amazing. And in this video, I actually wanted to talk a bit about the mind. Because we got that thing with a freaking reason, right? And why I came up with this, because in the energy where we're in, because right now it's Capricorn season. Does not have to be Capricorn season where you are at right now. But sometimes we can get so caught up in our mind. We can get so caught up in this physical reality, in this incarnation, in this body. Yesterday morning I woke up and I kept hearing this phrase: mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul. And I was like, okay, that is fascinating that I'm hearing this right now. So I kept hearing that, and then I started to observe and receive the information that was linked to this message. Because most of us would think that the mind and the ego are the same. But I actually want to talk about this a little bit more in a different video. I don't know when. It's all going to be in divine timing. The mind is something else than the ego. The ego is the protective self. This is always how I call it, because it's the protector of this physical body. So if you would say mind, body, soul, this is the information I received. Does not mean it's facts. That the ego is part of the body. So if you have mind, body, soul, the body, that's where the ego is. And with that, we have a mind. That is not the ego. And with that, part of this tree duo is two. How do you say this? I don't know. If you would use these three in alignment with each other, you will feel at peace. Because the whole ride on the bike towards this place here where I'm at, I saw number 6. 6 for me is always about love, harmony, balance, peace. I saw a lot of doves. Every time I heard it, be at peace, be at peace. As well as that on the bike, I looked to the right. What did I saw? A freaking owl. Huge owl sitting on this branch, and the owl is my spirit guide. And with that, I got total body chills all over my body. Like I was in a moment, totally in a moment. And with that, that's where I saw be at peace. And with these 3, mind, body, soul, these are in alignment, you're at peace. If those work together as a team, you will probably feel the flow, feel the ease of life. It's a mastery. It made me think of the Three of Pentacles in tarot. If you know about tarot, that is something I use. It made me think of that, of the Three of Pentacles. Those 3 pens are mind, body and soul. They work in a team, and with that they have the best results. They create the most solid freaking project. And this project is called life on earth. I saw mind, body, soul. I started to think with my mind about discernment, because discernment is something that we have got on this planet to be able to, you know what is the best possible way for us, the most in alignment with ourselves, with our being. And so I thought, okay, a lot of people on this earth plane use their mind to go about all of this. You know, they use their mind to think about situations and then they act. But the thing is about discernment. Discernment is a teamwork. There are so many different kind of, if I think about this freaking story, it's almost a puzzle. Discernment is the mind. They would say discernment is mind and heart. But actually mind is soul, because the heart is a representation of the soul. So that's teamwork. But those two, that teamwork, they are teamworking for this body. So that is then the mind, body, soul. It's what I received this morning. That's what resonated with me. My personal truths, that's what I resonated with. If you don't resonate with that, that's fine, you know. I hear this airplane. But that was what I received. And I was thinking about that. Because our mind can think, but we also feel. But then I realized that there's a difference between emotions and feeling. You can feel emotions and you can feel knowing. Feeling, knowing is part of discernment. That's the soul. Knowing is the soul. Emotions is the body. So, and they all work together. Always. And it's not that difficult. You know, this example what I will give, you'll probably think, why are you even explaining this? But I'm explaining it because, you know, I love to explain things. So, for example, you're driving a car. If you would not use your mind, you would not know what red is. You would not know what anything is outside of yourself, because the mind is the one that has gathered all this information on this airplane. The soul knows everything. But the mind is the tool we use to walk around here, to talk, to hear. The brain gathers all this information for us to be able to live here. And that's why it's so important to know with discernment, because discernment is something that on this airplane right now, if you are spiritually awakened, is one of the most biggest things that is important on your journey, because you got to discern for yourself if something is in alignment with you or not. To know that something is in alignment is to be in alignment with your project, with your mind, body and soul. So for example, you'll hear this information. Your mind would maybe say, this makes sense. What this person is saying could be true. But then we gotta listen to the other factors. So then we still have the body. The body will maybe make up a certain emotion with what it just has heard. What it just has heard. And that emotion is as well valid, but as well not valid, because we can have an energetic response, we can have a trauma response with our emotions. So then the last thing is still there is the soul, and the soul knows. So it's a knowing, it's a feeling of knowing. So then you have this feeling of knowing, and then with your mind, with your body, all at the same time, you will discern, is this in alignment with me? If you align the mind, the body and the soul together, you will be able to discern. And I never actually was really focused upon that information, because this morning, all of a sudden, I received that. And I don't even know if it is something that resonates with people. But it did with me. I was like, yeah, kind of makes sense, you know. Emotions tell us something. Our minds, our thoughts tell us something. But as well, our soul tells us something. But we got all of these three to function here on this airplane. For me to be able to walk here, I have to have a brain and a body. My soul is as well here because it incarnated in my being, not in this body, but yeah, within this creation. So that was what I realized, and our mind is our tool. It's not our guide. We use it to discern. It's a teamwork, but it's not our guide. The guide, the mind is the tool of the guide, and the guide is our soul. We decide with our mind what we would love to think. A lot of people on this airplane are listening to the mind as it is their guide, as it is their boss, as it is them. They think that's them, but that's not actually who they are. They see it not as a tool, but as a guide. They listen to whatever is telling them, because they don't know that there is a difference between the mind and the protective self. Because our mind is not the protective self, and the protective self is part of the body. So whatever the body receives as a signal, the protective self will be like, yo, I get a signal now. How should we react? And I received this download right now. The body, most of people on this airplane are living from their body. So they are living from their protective self. And their protective self reacts, and then they act. Wow, if they would use their mind to be aware of their mind, what is the soul awareness, they would respond instead of react, and with that they act. So instead of reacting, acting, it is reaction, observe, respond, and that's the action. That's what I'm receiving right now. I actually want to go, where do I want to go? I want to go that way. We use this body, the mind is our tool, and we are a soul, awareness, consciousness, however you want to call it. That's your being. It's not what you have, it's not your tool, that's who you are. And the mind is your tool. And that is the importance of the throat chakra, because that is all about mind over matter. That matter is not our guide, not our boss. We are not enslaved by matter or the protective self, this body. And as well, that most of the time we are not even awakened to our mind. Because if we would be awakened to our mind, we would create our reality. Our own reality is in the hands of us. Because we have this tool right here. We can think positively. We can think thoughts. We are not thoughts. We can think them. We can decide upon them. Whatever we would love to think, we can decide upon that. And with that, we create a reality. Our mind is our tool. Our guide is who we are. And who we are is the soul, consciousness. And to feel an alignment is to feel the alignment of the tree in the project. Mind, body, and soul. I wish I had more examples of this. You know, without the soul, without us, we would not experience this right now. We would not even experience this body. Because our consciousness like decided to use this body. As well as we would not be on this airplane without our body, and as well without our mind, we would not experience this right now. So these three are all important. Not one of them is not less important than the other, because they all are part of this game. Most of the people on this planet are not awakened to and their soul and their mind. They're only their body. And with that, the protective self. They are playing the protective self for themselves the whole time. They are in fear the whole time. Discernment is the teamwork of mind and soul as they channel through our body. Have the mind as our tool. So whatever we are thinking is a decision made by us. If we decide to listen, it's our decision because it's our tool. And I do talk a little bit all over the place, but yeah, I have no clue what I already have said, what I still want to add to this video. But this is why I came to this realization, because this morning I got this download of mind, body, soul, that we sometimes forget that those all work together, and that fear, you know, if we would love to discern, but if something is coming from love or fear, it's most of the time that it's about using the tool of the mind to be aware of our thoughts, what they are saying, and that with thoughts, emotions are getting created, and emotions are part of the body, and the body as well has the protective self. The protective self is the one that only is how would I explain this? The protective self is the one that protects. What does it protect you from? Danger. How does it protect you from danger? By the guidance of fear. So your protective self only knows fear, as it only has stored information about fear and what can create danger for you in regards to fear. And that can be all kinds of things. That can be humans, can be things in nature, animals, certain animals you have to watch out for, but as well danger in regards to if someone can hurt you, can make you feel pain. And that is where discernment, if you with your mind get a certain thought, immediately a thought with something that's happening then it's important to observe first before you react, and then you are able to respond. Because let's say it this way, the mind is the tool. This is the story that I'm trying to get here. The mind is the tool. So, for example, we're in a situation, someone is telling you something. Your mind makes up a thought. Immediately. Thought. Most of the time your mind judges. But your mind creates a thought. So you have the mind. The mind, from that thought, gives a signal to the body. The body gives a certain emotion. Then the emotion gets sent to the protective self. This is the body. From that point, it's important to know that you're not the protective self, nor the mind, nor the emotions. But you are the soul, the third one. And the third one, the soul, the knowing, knows what is the truth. And then, from that point, as you are observing, as the soul is the observer of this all, you can think again. You come back to the mind. With that, you can make the decision. Most of the people will have a thought, go to the body, react immediately from the protective self, because they are not awakened to the third one, that is the one that knows the truth, knows love, knows everything, because it is everything. It does not have anything. It is. And then with that point of those three, it is a cycle. So you come back to the mind, and with that you can decide for yourself what you want to think about this person, about the situation. But you have crossed love. So you have the discernment between fear, because you have moved through the body, the protective self, and as well you have moved through love. And from that point you can decide for yourself if you want to choose fear or love. And that's why the mind is our tool, because we decide upon the knowing and the emotions, the feelings we are getting with a certain thing. Oh, wow. This robin is sitting there. All these birds are around me right now, so many. So I will bring my story to a point that the mind is our tool, that we use the mind to decide, make decisions with. But it's about knowing if you have decided from love or fear. And the only way to discern that, if it's love or fear, is to move through the three: mind, body, and soul. So there is this thing that you would love to make a decision on. Then it moves through your body. Your protective self will give a reaction. It's up to you to then be like, hold up, give me a moment to observe this, to be aware, to sit in your awareness, to be in the presence of love, as you are love, because you are in your own presence, and then you can come back to it. You can decide, and you can think, and that's how you use your mind as a tool. Whoa. The sun. So that was the conclusion of this video, I guess, what I was trying to explain the whole time. I made so many videos. But thank you for coming along with me right now to spend your time on this video, to be part of the divine timing. In this present moment, you are exactly where you need to be. You are perfectly aligned with your past, present, future. And to see for yourself, to discern for yourself if this information was something that you would love to think, because your mind is your tool. So that was the message for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to like it, if you want to subscribe to the channel, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. If you want to support my channel, my messages, all that I do, I have a link down below for that as well. And I wish you all a beautiful, magical day today. Bye. And what I wanted to add on that was that we have these three. Some people are only aware of, they're not even aware, but they are their body. So they are playing the role of the protective self. They think they are the protective self. Then there are people that are awakened to their mind. So they use mindset to live on this earth plane, to create the best life for their body, for this physical incarnation. Then the third one is the last awakening phase. If you are going through a spiritual awakening, most of the time it is that some people miss peace, miss the last one, the soul, the awareness of their soul. They're aware that their mind is thinking things and that they can think better thoughts, better, good or bad, because the mind, the protective self, will then separate good from bad. Separation, fear. But there is a third one, and that is the awakening to love. And most people on this earth plane, are only their body. Then there is a second wave that only is awakened to their mind. And then you have the last one, awakening to the soul, to love. So the thing what I'm trying to say with that is that you can have your mind, you can use your mind as a tool, but not be spiritually awakened, because spiritual is within, is who you are, your soul. So you can use mindset without knowing who you really are, as you still think with the mind that you are the identity that you're playing right now. So that if you're watching this, your mind is a tool, but you're not your mind. It's your tool, it's not your guide. Your guide is you from within. But if you have not yet awakened to that, to the soul, the love within you, it will be very fascinating to discern your own truth, as you don't know what the actual truth is, because you're not awakened to your own knowing. And that was the final message of this day. Let me know if it resonated.